Uh-oh.
Good morning. She left us.
Mhm.
Everyone's here except 1, 2, 3.
Tom.
Tom, someone else.
Alan.
Alan. So I'd like, it's Christine was going to take minutes, I think. Not Christine, Kristen.
She's back.
Is she? Okay, there she is.
Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning. Good morning. There she is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, all.
Are you going to take minutes?
I am. I'm set up, ready to go.
Okay, good. I just have to send this to Christine. Okay. It'll come.
Who is not present?
Alan.
Alan.
Oh, and Tom. We thought.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
So we go back to the agenda. All right, so I have, well, first of all, we have to approve the 5:29 minutes.
So
So
moved.
everyone look at it,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. Okay. Then I'm trying to remember if we had an update on the legal status at the last meeting. I think we met like a couple days after our last meeting, didn't we?
That's correct.
Yeah. So meeting, it was I forget the man's name now, but we met with an accountant from Bloom and
Dan Hersey.
thank you. You have your notes in front
I
of
have
you.
my notes. I'm
Yeah.
cheating.
Okay, good. He seemed pretty into being part of this. And so our basically he got it, I think, pretty much what we were trying to do, that he could felt comfortable that he could work with us and put together the 501c3. We have work to do that. So, but we had what, almost an hour conversation with him? Yeah.
Yeah.
Over Teams.
Right.
And the city's new standard. And so it went well. And it went well. Why don't you have your notes in front of you? So
Yeah, I can give a little more detail. So we talked about just kind of the process of getting us from this idea to actually having an entity in place. And the process is drafting first of all, the application. The application has to be drafted and then submitted to the IRS for approval. The drafting time is going to be about 3 to 5 months. And we'll be working with Dan's firm to do that. From there, it gets submitted to the IRS, and there's a 7 to 9 month waiting time. But we can get around that waiting time through an expediting process. There's I think 3 different options there, but the one that looked, and a couple of them take 1 to 2 months instead of 7 to 9. But the one that looked like it would be the best fit for us was what he called the political avenue. And that's having the Congress our Congress representative and senator push this through.
Yep.
And he said that would speed it up to, from 7 to 9 months to 2 to 3 weeks.
Or yesterday.
Or yesterday,
Oh, yesterday, right.
depending on
So-
how.
So the entire process could be done within 6 months.
Mhm.
At the longest, I think, which means we could still have this done by the end of the year.
Jeff, does the IRS thing have to happen after creating a New Hampshire corporation, or isn't there a nonprofit step up, I'm sorry, a not-for-profit corporation step before the IRS? Or can you go straight to, did he say anything?
What did he say? I think that
It comes first.
comes
It comes
first.
first,
Yeah, yeah.
You
Um,
have to have an entity that's applying and the entity's purposes have to be.
That's what I was
So
thinking.
you need to take it to the Secretary of State for nonprofits to go through that.
You have to find, you've got to put together articles of agreement
Mhm.
and
Yep.
maybe bylaws. He's not helping with that though, right?
he is,
No.
no, he's helping with all
He's
that.
gotta help with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole process
Has
is
he ever
is
done a
part of that 3 to
nonprofit
5
in New
months.
Hampshire?
What's that?
Has he ever done a nonprofit in New Hampshire?
He's done a lot of nonprofits. I don't know if he's done them in New Hampshire, but he's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's here. Is-
no, he's in Boston.
Oh, he's
That's
in
the-
Boston.
That's
Oh,
why
he's
I'm
in
asking.
Boston. Oh, that's right.
That's why I'm asking.
Mhm.
It is different.
Yeah,
You're right.
I got the sense that they have.
it's a big company.
Right.
Yeah.
And they-
So if he hasn't, somebody in the office has.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what
So
what did
ask
he
him.
say about the structure? I wasn't at the meeting, so what did he say about the structure?
So it's, you know, it's basically going to be, a standard structure for a 501, and then there's gonna be a lot of conversation with us around how we want it to be structured
Right.
in detail to fit us.
Right,
That's
and,
fair.
and the city too. I mean, the city,
Right, when I say us,
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
the group.
All of us.
all of us, yeah.
Could
Well, her
you,
point is a pretty important one. I mean, you know. It's not a chicken and the egg situation. We gotta have our structure. We've gotta have an entity before he can do what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Get
Right.
it to 501(c)(3). I imagine, I wasn't there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I imagine that's the process. Now, the problem is. What's the structure? And I
he said he would help us with that.
said he would help you with that.
He's done a lot of different 501(c)(3)s apparently.
So he has a lot of experience in.
Yeah,
Okay,
he is the person, company apparently that
Well, that's good.
does that.
Yeah. That's good.
but we're gonna use him for the structure too. That's the question.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah. And he's going to work with us to find
That's
the right
great.
one.
I had a brief conversation with the city attorney asking about this, and he said they're putting together some sort of letter of intent. Was that discussed?
so, yeah, so, we thought, and, Emma, you can weigh in on this, and so can you, Chuck, that each entity would go to their boards. With the idea that we would sign this letter of intent as a group. And then that would begin the process.
Fair enough.
And Linnea said that she was gonna bring that to the Strawberry Bank Board. I'll be bringing it to the Athenaeum Board on Wednesday.
Do we have it?
We don't have it. What I'm bringing is just the concept and approval to enter into it from the board.
When are you hoping to send that letter? I say that because the Strawberry Bank Board does not meet for July and August.
Did they meet in June? They met in June, right?
They did.
She may
I
have
don't know
already
the
got it.
timing, though.
She may have already got it approved
Mhm.
because we met almost a month ago, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I spoke with her afterwards and she said, yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to get this approved. So I'm hoping she brought it to the June meeting.
I guess we'll find out.
What are you gonna say to your board when you get it approved?
Say that again?
What are you going to
What are you
say
asking
to
them?
your board? You said what you're asking for, when you get it approved, what are you gonna tell them they're approving?
I'm gonna tell them that they're approving us to move the Athenaeum into this agreement,
That isn't
to
written.
develop this,
That isn't written yet.
that isn't written yet, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And that's what the city attorney's doing, the letter of intent.
right.
He's in the process of, so my sense of this is, let's see the letter of intent,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
And approve
I mean,
it.
I could be wrong, but I think that's,
So when did you meet with Trevor or talk to
and
Trevor?
I just doing other business in the city, I went by him, I asked him what was going on. And I asked him a question, it was, sounded like he said the guy was great on a 501(c)(3), and what about the structure? And he said, he didn't say anything about him helping with that, didn't say it was or was not. What he told me was he was drafting a letter of intent
Mhm.
for all the entities to get together, which I think is a great idea,
Mhm.
and that's what we should do.
Right. So get a copy of it and everybody vote it.
I mean, that's, so let's get it and see what it says, because it's gonna be,
Yeah.
and he had said you were gonna be the fiscal, and part of the deal would be, he did mention that you were, your entity,
Athenaeum, yeah.
Athenaeum would
Right,
be the fiscal part of this first,
right.
fiscal agent.
Yep.
That's all great, okay,
So then the other piece of this conversation is that it'll cost. You know, and he estimated it would be about $10,000
sounds about
Um,
right,
and for the whole thing.
that's a good deal.
Yeah.
And so,
With 3,500 as a retainer to start.
yeah.
I
So,
guess before the letter of intent, we need some money.
well, I think that's achievable. And so, I don't know. To move on to the next thing, perhaps, is I actually, I've never written a fundraising letter. Except I tried it out here. So I don't know, you guys know a lot more about that than me. So I'm gonna. I think I might keep one for myself. And my printer jammed, so I'm not sure I have one for everybody, but
But it all goes on one page.
yes.
Yes.
Good. I won't go for anything that goes more than one page.
No, I wouldn't, I know that much. But I think there's probably some other detail.
Yeah, there's probably something missing, but who cares?
Yeah, I just, you know, as I say, I've never written one before, so.
You see that now, Kristen?
It's loading. Yes, I see it. The only thing that I can say about this, I've written such letters before, is usually the first paragraph should be something that lets the reader know that something can't be accomplished without their help to grab them. So I would probably make the first paragraph more engaging.
Okay,
I don't know if anyone else agrees.
Yes.
Yes.
go for it.
I don't mind doing that. I have plenty of time.
As I say, I'm no pro at this. So.
Well, who are they gonna write the check to?
The Athenaeum. Designated to the.
So if we write it to the Athenaeum, is it tax deductible?
That's the question.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
But I
guess
think
we
you
could,
might want to say that.
yeah, say that.
Mhm.
Will this be on city letterhead?
I don't know. That's a question, and that's a question I will. Ask Trevor. I did ask the city attorney, Susan. If as a city councilor, is it, for all my responsibilities as a city councilor, is it all right for me to be fundraising for something like this? And I've asked her twice, and I have not,
And the answer is no.
huh?
Then the answer probably is no, if she hasn't answered you.
She needed to talk to other people, and frankly, she's very busy at the moment, but, so I haven't had an answer, so whether it goes on city letterhead or not, is a question still. But
Oh, why don't we put it on the Athenaeum?
Yeah, that's what
letterhead,
I'm
Since you're
thinking.
writing, since you're being the fiscal agent,
But we're a
Can it be,
city,
can it be dual?
I think it's the committee, yeah, so I would, it would be good for it to be on the city.
oh, it would
letterhead.
be, but if it's gonna get a lot of flack.
Well,
we have
you know
a
what,
backup.
why don't if we do this
Mhm,
and get it edited,
mhm.
and I'll just put the damn city
Can I ask a really fun question?
thing on it.
Do we really expect to raise money with a letter? Is a letter something we need to give someone?
And I
Who's gonna
think,
Give us the money.
I think it's, hi, Tom.
Well, even those people who give you the money. are
I
gonna
think
want
it's a-
Something for
No,
the pot.
that's what I mean. And is is it for these people that we know has the money? I'm not asking you to tell me. Is it for about five or six people that are gonna,
Yeah,
that we think are gonna give the money?
sure.
Yeah,
In a broad brush
yeah,
donation letter, which I think it's really the only way to go,
Mm-hmm.
frankly, to wait for a donation.
well, I think it's a conversation, but this is perhaps something you can show them too.
Mhm.
And that they could keep, yeah.
A
to your
different letter
point.
if it's just to them.
A different letter,
Well, I think if we understand that's what we're doing, we're not going for a broad appeal.
yeah,
Could we, I don't know if Kristen's gonna be the one who ends up editing this, but could we put a note somewhere that it should be clear when donating to the Athenaeum that there's a note marking this for this? What are we calling
yeah, in
this,
the,
John?
in the
It's,
City
memo.
Archive?
no, it's, fiscal agent fund.
Fiscal Agent Fund, but do they also need to say it's for the archives or?
That we're,
Is that the
that's the
only thing
only
we're
one
using
that-
in there? Okay,
And we'll keep it until we find a second or third.
yeah. I wanna be-
I'm
everybody-
sorry, I missed that. Should they write that it's for the archive project or just write fiscal agent fund?
In that third to last paragraph about the
Yeah.
Portsmouth, just a note that donations should be accompanied by a note saying for the fiscal agent fund.
Okay,
They're donating to the Athenaeum when they think they're donating to the,
Mhm.
to this project.
okay.
And I'm gonna share this with everybody. I can figure out where to do that.
Yeah, and if somebody could email this to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll forward it right now.
Okay.
It strikes me that there are only 5 or 6 people that you're really doing. You need a sort of one paragraph that changes in each of them, that addresses it to them.
We don't-
Mm, that's a good point.
Is the mailing list longer than 5 or 6 people? It's just expected that only that many will
You need it?
donate or be needed?
It would be much easier to go to the 5 normal suspects.
yeah.
Yeah, then they
Already
should
got
probably have
to one of
personal
them.
letters.
Then I don't have
Yeah.
to. I have something else for her.
I received it, Christine, thank you.
And Kristen, there's obviously some like minor edits, like Vince's name, where Emma works, stuff like that.
Okay, yep.
Lombard.
You forgot
Oh, I
your
thought-
full name.
Yeah.
So
Is there what date do you want to start using this?
And what I
Yeah.
do to Linnea?
What's
She
that?
doesn't work at
Did you
Strawberry
sign it?
Bank.
No, she does, but Linnea.
I'm
has
sorry,
That's
Emma.
fine.
In her.
Yeah.
Oh, two ends, yes.
Oh, when you,
Oh,
you're the executive director of
So
Strawberry Bank.
Emma's is the one that.
Well,
I signed.
Vince ought to sign that, don't you?
Yeah, the chair of the committee, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we do Jeff sign it? He's fiscal agent where they're volunteering to be. the next-
Cosigns.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
co-sign.
People, but
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be strong if all the organizations signed it, if that's possible.
Well, if there's only 5 of them, no problem.
Right.
Why? City?
City Strawberry Bank.
I mean, you can do that, but I mean, that's an awful lot of trouble,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, really. Just, he's the fiscal agent, we've designated, he's the one, we're.
That's true.
He's in here,
hmm
well, I mean, running around getting 5 signatures for a.
exactly.
Gets a little crazy, frankly.
It's not like people don't know how to find the other members of the committee.
yeah, well, and we're listing them.
Right.
That's right.
That's I think that's the appropriate thing to do, isn't it? To list everybody there. Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
get out of your problem with the city attorney.
Yeah. And I will see if I can catch Trevor and find out about what did he call it?
Letter of intent,
Letter of intent.
they're working on it.
Turn up the heat.
So I agree with you, Chuck, that we should probably have a letter of intent that we're voting on, but that does delay us to the end, probably.
It
into
is what it
September.
is. I
Yeah.
mean, it is what it is.
Mhm.
You don't want your board to be asking you questions that you.
Right,
Well, that, and also we've got to get the money
Get to work.
to get to work too,
Right.
so.
Yeah.
I don't know. And we have to start making the asks. Sooner we have the money in place,
Mhm.
it just would ease my thought about it, I guess, but. All right.
so these 5 asks. Who's gonna be making these asks?
Well, I mean, I can make some, I don't know all of the people that Richard's thinking of, I know some of them. Yeah, well, I'm only thinking at 1, 2, but so that's a
I
problem.
just asked.
What's that?
I just asked one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Waiting for a response.
Well, those people may not want to be known. That's another issue.
Yeah. So,
I want to know who the usual suspects are, though.
Yeah, me too.
well, we should make a list, we should identify the people that we want to. And maybe not have that as part of the public record,
Well, you need a working fundraising committee.
yeah,
There you go. Let's do that.
You're
The
it.
fundraising committee.
yeah,
Group.
You're it.
yeah,
Did you see him pointing over there?
yeah. Richard, you're the chair. Well, yeah, I mean, the people experienced in fundraising, I think, are the people we need, right? You know, I don't know. Anyway,
I'm happy to go on some asks if you want, but I feel like you should be leading those conversations, but I'd
Okay.
be happy to go with you. And I'm sure
that would be great.
Linnea would, or you would as well. or
Sure.
Tom about you, but I feel like if 2 of us are able to go, that might help too. And one from the city and one from another organization.
Mhm.
I can definitely commit to going with you on some of those asks.
Okay.
I'm happy to do that and I'm comfortable doing it, so
Yeah, good.
it's not a problem.
And so, I mean, if I I mean, I don't know who other people are thinking of.
We'll talk about that after the recording is.
Yeah. So we'll do that in non-public session.
In the fundraising committee.
So, okay, good. Anything else on this? All right,
No, but just a question on timeline. I assume you want to move this ahead as soon as possible.
yeah,
To start raising that, and we're confident. That's what.
Yeah.
We'll need, okay. Great,
and we need 3,500 upfront.
front, okay. That's great.
Yeah, his number was 7 to 9, so I think we're really comfortable with 10.
That's good to know.
I just think, there's gonna be other.
Right.
And he said it, that includes all the fees and
Mhm.
filing fees and stuff like
Oh,
that,
great.
but let's just,
It's a nice round figure to raise.
Yeah. And then the next thing is the other thing we talked about at the last meeting was funding for the conservation assessments, and it was felt, we talked about that we don't really need to have this in place. The city has money for conservation assessments
For the city stuff.
for the city stuff.
Right. The
So,
rest of us that,
so
you know. you
maybe
might
with
want-
the letter of intent of all the organizations to be creating this, the individual entities can approach the private, we talked about the private foundations. It could be start being approached for
Right now.
conservation assessments for the 3 other entities.
Well, the Athenaeum doesn't have to do it again, do you?
I wouldn't think,
No, you don't need to.
No.
You're done.
and we did an update to add the.
Right.
Numbers.
So the Historical Society needs it for the attic. And Strawberry Bank, have we figured out what you need? Given all your
Yes.
little
It's
broken
very
pieces of
clear.
Junk. Right? Okay. So what else is?
City.
No,
City
they're,
can
they're
fund
gonna
their
do it
own.
on their own, their money.
So it's just us.
Yeah,
I think that's an easy private foundation.
I do too. Cause it's less than $5,000, isn't it?
Mhm.
The 2 of us.
I would think so.
I
Yeah.
would think. Each of you.
When did you do the Athenaeum?
Do you want to just?
Sure, yeah.
Linnea in, but you've got the whole, we can.
Yeah.
All identify some private foundations. I think we can go to the have upcoming deadlines or have rolling deadlines.
Okay.
And then just about what you just want to do.
There's somebody who was. granted-
Yeah, I do too. My only problem will be the development department who doesn't like asking for money other than anything, you know what I mean? So, yes, the conversation is worthy.
They're gonna be. Cause this is easy.
Yeah.
thing to ask.
We
It's
can find the
quickly-
money.
Yeah. So Elizabeth and I will work on getting funding for our portion of the conservation assessment. and
Okay.
doing some private foundation writing. And we can just work on that, the 2 of us with Linnea.
That sounds great. Yeah. So then. Our timeline maybe could be. Reflect some of this conversation too. I know Alan's not here. I know, I guess, Kristen, you've been working with Alan on the timeline?
No, I.
No, I have not.
I am.
Oh, Christine has, okay. So I don't know, maybe we can put some of this information in there just to have it in front of us.
You're saying the attorney, could you say his name again, by the way?
His name
He's
is
not an attorney, he's
Oh,
an
he's not.
accountant.
Dan Hersey.
Yeah. He's an accountant. Okay. that's
Yeah.
right.
And do you have the firm?
I don't have the firm name, no.
How long was it left with him?
Excuse me?
How was it left with him?
It was left that we send him
we were going to
$3,500
get
and he'll get
approval and Come
going.
back to him with money.
Okay,
A letter of intent and money.
Good, so the letter of intent's being written upstairs, so,
Hurwitz and
Hurwitz
Associates.
Yeah.
so the city can send $3,500 out of their funds.
It looks like he's an attorney with Hurwitz and Associates. Hurwitz is spelled Hurwit. Does that sound familiar?
You can put that in there,
Account
that's
to
true.
Avenue.
He's
But he's
said
not-
he's not an attorney,
Accountant?
and therefore he doesn't charge
That-
attorney
right,
fees.
right.
Which was
He's
very
cheaper than
nice.
Chuck.
Oh,
right.
it's a paralegal.
Paralegal, that's right, yeah.
Listen.
Was he recommended by the city attorney?
Yes. And apparently, I mean, this company, Hurwitz, Hurwitz and Associates does a lot of this. They're an accounting firm more than
And they know the rules.
they know the rules.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Always.
And I mean, I
The
know
rules are
Trevor's
stupid.
thought of
Special.
using it, I mean, an accounting firm is what you really need for a 501c3, not.
How are you going to be organized and
Yeah.
show it to the courts?
Okay.
put together an entire budget,
Mhm.
put together an entire budget,
Yeah,
That's
well,
part of the application.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. That'll be fun.
I have an update from my report from last time,
Okay,
which was when I was adding numbers, I added one column twice. So,
So now,
so 1.3 is actually what it would cost for everything. So that's $474 a square foot, which is more in line with what Richard predicted last.
oh, that's good.
Was that number again?
474.
474.
or if you want to go real easy, 500,
There you go.
and then
Yeah.
you're covered.
Yeah, well.
Because that number is only
By the
good
time
if
we
we
get there.
build it last month.
Yeah, last month.
Oh, well, you better add it to 1,000 then.
Good. Anything else?
Okay, let's go raise some money and get it.
Let's raise some money.
and-
So the city is funding their own assessment.
Yes,
Where do they stand in terms of starting that?
July 1st
Of
is
course.
when the money is available.
So I can send out the RFP
Mhm.
because I have to get quotes. I can't just pick someone.
Mhm.
As soon as after the 4th.
Okay,
Mhm.
so you're the lead on that, on the city's,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, I'll work with legal and finance to
Uh-huh.
get RFP and then purchase order for our stuff. But
Great.
So you have to get 3 quotes.
we have to open an RFP. It's not necessarily 3, it could be 10, it could be 2, but we have to, we open
Go
up the
through the
bidding,
process.
bidding process for it and,
Takes time.
yeah.
Their minimum amount of time the quote has to stay open or active, like if you can get it up soon, what would you anticipate a timeline?
I think
like?
we've done things like 14 days.
Oh,
It's-
really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it's not months for sure.
Right.
And I'll double check with them because for this amount, it depends, like we're bigger than your,
Mhm.
but
Well-
it's not gonna be $50,000. So
Well, and yours is a lot of the same thing,
Mhm.
so they're not gonna be doing a file box by file box
Right,
assessment.
exactly. So I'll have to double check. It may not even be an RFP. It might be that we just need some quotes.
Mhm.
Should be easier.
Will
And this
that-
RFP, Christine, that you're discussing is for the city assessment.
Correct. Yep, so City Hall, Public Works, Library.
So does the library like
Yeah, well-
include the Adams collection and?
Yeah, I think the
pictures.
easiest thing for us is to include everything, even though we might think we're gonna keep things on site.
Right.
Yeah,
As
Get
if
the
we put it all
entire
away.
special collection and say, if we were to ship all of it over.
Right.
Then we
the
can
city
decide what
clerk,
goes.
too, City clerk,
City clerk for sure, finance,
city clerk, I mean, it's
just
legal,
thinking all of Siegel, all of City Hall. so
Mhm.
but not police,
not police,
fire
fire,
and schools.
right. 'Cause-
Let's not take this stuff. 'Cause
Oh, there's too much pushback. Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Move adjournment?
Hmm?
Move adjournment?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay.
Public comment.
George Jonas State Street. I understand that there are people that could fund this, no problem. But including people of the village to include money would be a good idea. So the idea of doing a letter, so that other people, like individuals that would like to donate, could.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think there are people who would like that.
Well, George was the first.
Yeah, well, we know that.
Why don't you just give him, sign it and give him a letter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll take, good enough, Don.
Hmm.
But no, I'm sorry. But I just can't, we are looking to get
Yeah, no, I think,
community, it's, involvement, so. something
Yeah.
like that. Just-
I agree.
I know it's an early stage, but just.
But that's the thing. Some people like to be in the early stage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that includes a mailing then of some sort, which, I mean,
Again, it's-
Or the
Well,
web-
I think it's just
Website.
walking down the street, handing them out to.
yeah, there we go.
Likely.
city website and the newsletters.
I was gonna
Other
say,
than a mailing.
yeah, how does the
I would
city
work.
feel about us using city channels to raise money for our committee? How is that?
That's a
Well,
good question.
That is the question I've asked and I haven't I mean, that's basically the question I've asked and
I suppose the thing to do is try it.
well,
See
yeah,
who objects.
yeah. Well, I mean, if I don't hear back, I just,
Just do it.
do it.
Right.
And then
Then you'll
I'll
find
hear
out
back.
what
Yeah.
you know.
Your lawyer is recommending against
Advise us
that.
against it, yes.
Not a good idea.
I've done that for a long time, that type of thing.
That's how you got here.
Yeah.
We'll say something along the lines of, we need to get this done now.
Yeah,
We need an answer.
yeah.
And I also know some other commissions, I think Park is one, and there's some others that have like their own mailing lists that they
Mhm.
manage. Is that right? Like, are there certain commissions that have their own newsletters they send out?
Hmm.
I feel like at the bottom of the city newsletter, there's an option to subscribe to other
Certainly
commissions' newsletters.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm
And I-
sure the recreation department has,
Mhm.
right.
Our departments do, but I
Do,
don't
yeah.
know
Oh,
about,
maybe it's
I don't know
not.
about committees. Let me look.
Yeah, and I
Well, the
know,
rec
and I
committee, I
know
think,
for a fact that some of those, you're right, they do.
Yeah,
And the names on that list are not
Public.
released public.
Right.
yes. And we have some names of folks who were interested. When I was at the
Mhm.
PHSA event, I got some signups. We have some
yeah,
names, so
Friends
I
of us.
wonder,
We should send it to them too.
yeah, well, if there's a vehicle for us to do our own fundraising through a city channel, but we manage it,
mhm.
if that's a way to handle it. And I can certainly help with some of that. Just
Well, when I get the final letter, I'm gonna put the city seal on it. And take it up to the legal department and say, how's this?
Mhm. Right,
And
and they have to
That'll-
say yes or no.
they'll say yes or no.
Well, there's one in between, Emma. The climate action plan is actually
Mhm.
in planning. But
Okay.
it's a project. I don't see any commissions, but it's quite possible.
Okay.
We could just ask Monty if there's a way to have a stream
Mhm.
within whatever he uses for the newsletter. That we could use.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Want to change, you can update your preferences. Yeah, so you can get the recreation newsletter, senior center newsletter, city newsletter, library newsletter, and climate action plan newsletter.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Those
those
are
are
the-
departments.
But those are just newsletters.
yeah, and they're departments, but I don't know that there's a reason that we couldn't.
But
Right, but yeah, I'm thinking if there's a way for us to build a mailing list and keep track of like a database almost in a way through through one of those.
Would we not do that through the 501c3 once it's established?
Yeah.
Once
We
it's
could move it
established,
over to it.
But yeah, until then.
I'll talk to Monty.
Maybe you want a press release to the newsletters
Yeah,
that essentially says the same thing as the letter.
yeah,
Here's where we are,
I was
here's where we're
thinking rather than a
going.
mailing,
Right.
we
Yeah.
did a mailing
And,
last year. It was,
and if you wish to contribute, contact X.
which could be on our website,
Mhm,
mhm,
Right,
hit my webpage.
just tell them where to go,
yeah.
so to speak.
Maybe we can get the banner for a while on the website. Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, it definitely seems like the library newsletter list would be an obvious choice, but maybe not the climate people, like not all of those recipients are gonna have the same interest.
How do you know?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's fair, Richard.
I
But,
mean, if you're going broad, to just let people know what we're doing, and it doesn't matter. It
Mhm.
doesn't cost you 10 cents a stamp to
Right.
send these all out. So putting them in all the newsletters as, here's what another city commission is doing. In a way of, if they're interested, contact. I mean, you'll get 5
I can
people.
put it in my article saying the library is participating in this effort.
Mhm.
For more information, go to our
Go here.
website.
Yeah.
And then have the
Nice.
letter on the website.
Yep.
And I'll talk to Monty about it, putting on the city newsletter
Good.
when we're ready. I don't know what the timing is.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, if you have dates for Hersey or the letter of intent or any of those things, if you
So
could.
I was just thinking about that. We don't have a date for the letter of intent, but we should talk to Trevor about setting a deadline for that.
Mhm.
The Athenaeum has a July board meeting.
Mhm.
It would be nice to have that ready for that meeting.
Yeah, when is that?
Last.
24th.
About a month from now.
24th.
Our next one is too, let me look.
24th,
We're the 22nd of July. So. And I usually try to
So-
get attachments out before, but I can
Mhm.
also.
So we need the letter.
Friday The
of-
19th.
Letter of intent.
Yeah.
You're not meeting in
Come on,
July.
By the 15th.
For
15th.
August.
Would be great,
Yeah.
But don't we have to approve it?
Well,
As a committee.
Yeah.
yeah,
When's our next meeting?
22nd. But that would lose Emma's opportunity, right? When is your meeting? Is it that?
Our meeting
morning?
is that evening. It's the night of the 22nd. So I could. We approved it earlier that day. I could put it in front of them. It
Hmm.
just would. They wouldn't be able to look at it in advance. So that's the only
That's good.
thing.
He said, that's good.
Yeah. I'll give him a chance to ask questions.
That's
about it.
right. No-
Don't be
no
too
question.
familiar with this
Yeah.
thing you're agreeing to.
When's our next meeting?
the 22nd.
22nd, like
Oh, it's
Emma's,
perfect.
like Emma's meeting.
We do it in the morning and you do it in the afternoon.
Does that work?
Yeah, I can make it work.
Okay. I mean, maybe we can get. I mean, the other thing is. I don't know, can we call it like a virtual meeting and just have people sign off on it?
If we post it.
Yeah. Shaking your head.
When do you want to get Trevor to have it to us in order for us to
Well,
have a
that-
virtual meeting to?
He may want to be here, I haven't even got that through.
Say it again?
Trevor
Trevor
might
may
wanna
be
come.
here.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best case, and that way if we wanted to make edits to it.
That's the point.
Maybe the quote unquote legal committee should spearhead that with Trevor.
Mhm.
So maybe we should see if we can get a earlier in July meeting with him.
That's not a bad idea, but I really think the committee should rule on it as a
See
whole.
the final
Oh,
text.
absolutely, but
I think it might be a good idea, as you said, to have him here.
come to this meeting.
On the 22nd.
Yeah.
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 But if there are
We
changes,
can do
that'll be
it.
too late
Find
for
out right
MS
away,
purposes.
he's
Right.
Timbuktu or something.
But
Okay.
if we had a meeting with him as part of our work group,
Mhm.
we
That
could
should be-
flush out any
Right.
obvious changes
I think that would be
and
good.
then bring an final edited version to this meeting.
Give him the opportunity to be here if he wanted.
Mhm.
Yep.
That'd be great, because to Christine's point, if there are any edits made at the 22nd meeting, she needs to go back and revise, I won't be able to bring.
Right,
my forward
exactly.
Until
Mhm.
the next time we meet in September.
Yeah.
So who's gonna call Trevor and set up a meeting?
Well, I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna put the thing
For a
on.
minute,
on
yeah,
this.
right.
Can I just add regarding the fundraising letter? I know that, it's going to be customized for the 5 or so, people, but I would also recommend 2 completely separate types of letters, one for those more targeted groups and another one for the general public.
Okay,
Are you volunteering to do that?
Yeah, I can do both, but I just want to make sure everyone's on board with, the fact that there's 2 different types of audiences, so it needs to be drafted as such.
okay. I will share the document on the website or in our Google Docs with you.
I have it, Christine sent it to me.
Okay,
So in one of them, you just say, send your entire life savings to.
as long as it's at least $10,000.
Right, that cuts down your audience quite a bit.
Yeah,
You still on tape?
okay. I don't believe there's no one on public on Zoom, is there?
Just Kristen.
Yes, Christie.
I don't mean to say just Kristen, especially Kristen.
Especially who's taking the note.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, all good?
Did you hear that?
Kristen, that was for you.
Oh, yes, all good. I have everything. I'm sorry, I know George is there. What is George's last name?
Dumas, Dumas.
Okay,
D-U-M.
thank you.
And I asked if you had anything else you wanted to add today.
Myself, me? No, I'm all set.
Okay, good. Then I won't keep people.
For adjournment?
Second. All in favor?
Hi.
Hi,
Thank you, everyone.
See you.
ciao.
What's going on?
See you here?
I'm here for the next one, yes.
Yep.
I
Okay.
mean, I'm there, not here.
Here,
There.
yeah, you're not there. Okay. All right, cool.
When do you arrive in back here?
The 18th of July.
One of them was the thing at the.
Yeah. That's
All right.
And then we're not recording anymore.
Yeah, we are, but
Okay.
I can stop the recording because we've ended our meeting, so hang on.
Is who's doing anything? We probably do something on the 25th. Down in 20th, we're gonna do
Yeah, that's
some
a-
stuff.
Yeah. that's an interesting
Okay.
question.